pleasure of reviewing the SE Electronics T2. It's a multi-pattern microphone that just sounds absolutely amazing. I honestly think this is my new favorite microphone, and anyone who watches the channel knows how big of a deal that is for this to dethrone, the microphone that's been my favorite microphone for like years and years now, the Rode NT1. I just can't praise this company enough, SE Electronics. I remember when I first heard about SE Electronics was when I was watching the legendary James Arnold Taylor talking about them in one of his YouTube videos. And if you're a voice actor and you don't know who James Arnold Taylor is, you need to know who James Arnold Taylor is. You really, really should. He's by far one of the most talented and versatile voice actors around and has been doing it forever and ever. I'm not saying you're old, James. From one James to another, you're not old. We have old souls. But he's got a podcast and a live show, both called Talking to Myself. You really should check it out. I love his podcast. He's just a really cool person in general, regardless of whether he's an awesome voice actor, which he is, one of the most talented by far that we've ever encountered. He's just a really, really awesome person, really sweet, really nice, got a really, really big heart. And anyway, I can't say enough good things about him. All right, anyway, full disclosure, SE Electronics did send this microphone to me for free and I do get to keep it, but as always, that never, ever sways my review. They don't get to see this video before I post it. These are all my own thoughts and my own words. They don't get to tell me what to say, none of that good stuff. So, with all of that said, let's get into it. All right, let's cover some specs of the SE Electronics T2. The SE Electronics T2 is an XLR multi-pattern microphone. It has a frequency response of 20 Hz to 20 kHz, an equivalent noise level of 13 dBA, a max SPL of 137, 147, and 157 dB SPL, a low-cut filter at 40 Hz and 80 Hz, an attenuation pad at -10 dB and -20 dB. All right, now the plosive test. Peter Piper popped his peas, resulting in plosives. All right, now let's test the proximity effect of the SE Electronics T2. All right, now I'm about 8 feet away from the SE Electronics T2. All right, now I'm about 4 to 5 feet away from the SE Electronics T2. All right, now I'm about 3 feet-ish away from the SE Electronics T2. All right, now I'm about 6 inches away from the SE Electronics T2. All right, and now I'm right up on the SE Electronics T2, and I'm very curious to see how the bass response changed at those different distances. All right, and for anyone out there who cares, this is what the SE Electronics T2 sounds like. Boomed above me, out of frame, much like you would with a shotgun microphone. This microphone was most definitely not made to be used like this, but this is what it sounds like if you boom it. All right, and now I'm going to test the high-pass filters on this microphone. This might not be something that you can necessarily audibly hear. I definitely recommend wearing headphones for this test, but you have a low cut at 40 Hertz and you have a low cut at 80 Hertz. So let's see what this sounds like, shall we? Currently, it's in its standard form without a low cut on at all. So here we go. The first one I'm going to do is at 40 Hertz. So here we go. All right, this is the low cut on 40 Hertz, and this is what it sounds like. Again, definitely make sure you wear headphones, and even then you probably won't even be able to tell that much of a difference. And now let's go to the 80 Hertz cut. All right, and now we have the SE Electronics T2 on the 80 Hertz cut. Again, make sure you wear headphones. It's gonna be very subtle, but see if you can tell. Let me know in the comments below if you were able to tell a difference and if you preferred one over the other, or if you don't even use a low cut on the front end of a microphone. Do you even do that, or do you just wait until after in post in your DAW? All right, and now let's test the dB, the pad, where it just takes the audio down a bit. You have one at -10 and one at -20, so I'm gonna try the -10 first, so here we go. All right, this is the pad at -10. All right, and I'm not gonna do any compensation for the audio here, that way we can hear how much it dips. And now let's go to the pad at -20. All right, and this is the pad at -20. This could be really useful for voice actors in the booth that maybe they're gonna do a read where they have to talk quietly and then they have to yell really loud. And if they have to yell really loud, this pad will really come in handy. You just wanna switch that really quick. All right, so if you want to learn more about polar patterns, what are the differences, how does that differ between each mic, and how does it differ depending on where you're speaking into the microphone, make sure to check out the video I made all about different microphone polar patterns, how they sound, what they do. You can find that in the link in the description of this video. All right, so one of the many awesome things about the SE Electronics T2 is it is a multi-pattern microphone, meaning it gives you 4 polar patterns to switch between to suit different needs, different spaces, just different scenarios. So you're covered with 4 of these different polar patterns. So let's switch between all 4 and let's see what they sound like. All right, starting out, we're going to use just the standard cardioid polar pattern, so let's go. All right, so here I am on the SE Electronics T2, and I'm going to move around to the side of the SE Electronics T2. Should be rejecting me a little bit. Now as I move around to the back of the SE Electronics T2, it should really be rejecting me. And then now I'm going to get in front of the camera so you can see the back of my head. That probably looked awesome. And now I'm right up in front of the SE Electronics T2, and that was the cardioid polar pattern. All right, so now we are on to the hypercardioid polar pattern. So I'm right in front of the SE Electronics T2, and I'm going to move around to the side of the SE Electronics T2. It's probably rejecting me pretty good. Now I'm in the back of the SE Electronics T2, and now once again, you get to see the back of my head. And then now we move right around to the front of the SE Electronics T2, and that was the hypercardioid polar pattern. All right, so this is the omnidirectional polar pattern. So here we go, omnidirectional polar pattern. All right, so I'm in front of the SE Electronics T2, and I'm moving around to the side. I'm moving around, I'm still moving around, and now I'm moving over to the back of the microphone. It still should be picking me up. It still should be picking me up all the way around the microphone. I'm really curious to see how well it picked me up around the entire microphone in the omnidirectional polar pattern. All right, and now we have the figure 8 polar pattern. So let's see what this sounds like. All right, so here we have the figure 8 polar pattern. I'm gonna move around now to the side of the microphone where you wouldn't sing into the microphone or speak. And now I'm gonna move into the back of the microphone where you could potentially have someone in front and someone in back and be, doing a duet or something like that, or a voiceover, who knows. And then we're gonna walk around to the side where you can also see the back of my head. This is really prime real estate right here. And then as we move to the front, you can hear me yet again. That was the figure 8 polar pattern. All right, so this is what the SE Electronics T2 sounds like in an environment that's not acoustically treated. Obviously, you wouldn't want to record audio in an environment like this, but I just wanted to show you what that would sound like on this microphone. So now let's go up to my acoustically treated closet and see what this mic sounds like in there. And as always, I'm going to do a clap test just to show you the difference between an environment that's not treated and one that is. So here we go. And this is what the SE Electronics T2 sounds like in an acoustically treated space. I have many various methods of acoustic treatment in the space that makes it sound as dead as it does all around me. But yeah, this is what the SE Electronics T2 sounds like in an acoustically treated environment. All right, and as always, a little bit of camera audio to help cleanse the palette before we get to the T2 versus the Rode NT1. Let me know in the comments below if you can tell which microphone is which before I reveal it. All right, so here we have it, the Rode NT1 versus the SE Electronics T2. Anyone who's watched my channel for any length of time knows how much I love the Rode NT1. It's just an amazing sounding microphone. It's very affordable, but I couldn't find a microphone to even come close to beating it. I just love the way it sounds. However, there's a new microphone in town, the SE Electronics T2. Now, this microphone has been out for a long time. I just haven't been able to get my hands on one and test it, but now I can, and I'm telling you, I love the way the SE Electronics sounds, or the T2. I love the way it sounds, and it is now my new favorite microphone. It's been a very long time. I never thought I would find a microphone to beat out the Rode NT1, but I have now found that microphone. The SE Electronics T2 sounds unbelievable. It's a relatively flat response microphone, much like the Rode NT1. I love the way both of these microphones sound, but the T2 is my new favorite microphone. It sounds amazing. So anyway, let me know in the comments below if you were able to guess which microphone was which. All right, so here we have it, the Rode NT1 versus the SE Electronics T2. Anyone who's watched my channel for any length of time knows how much I love the Rode NT1. It's just an amazing sounding microphone. It's very affordable, but I couldn't find a microphone to even come close to beating it. I just love the way it sounds. However, there's a new microphone in town, the SE Electronics T2. Now, this microphone has been out for a long time. I just haven't been able to get my hands on one and test it, but now I can, and I'm telling you, I love the way the SE Electronics sounds, or the T2. I love the way it sounds, and it is now my new favorite microphone. It's been a very long time. I never thought I would find a microphone to beat out the Rode NT1, but I have now found that microphone. The SE Electronics T2 sounds unbelievable. It's a relatively flat response microphone, much like the Rode NT1. I love the way both of these microphones sound, but the T2 is my new favorite microphone. It sounds amazing. So anyway, let me know in the comments below if you were able to guess which microphone was which. All right, so what are my overall thoughts? Well, the T2 was a bit brighter than the Rode NT1, and you guys know how I feel about the Rode NT1. So here's the thing. The Rode NT1 has been my favorite microphone for a very, very long time now. I make that very clear in my videos. However, the SE Electronics T2 has officially dethroned the Rode NT1 as my favorite microphone. I know it's crazy. I don't even believe it myself because it's been so long. I've been waiting so long to finally find a microphone that I truly and genuinely believe beats out the Rode NT1. Now, this is my subjective opinion. The Rode NT1 I'm still going to recommend over and over to people, but at the same time, I can't deny how amazing this microphone sounds. And yeah, it sounds amazing on my voice. Maybe it doesn't sound as good on your voice, blah, blah, blah. But I will say I have a hard time believing this microphone would sound bad on anybody's voice because the Rode NT1 sounded great on I've never heard the Rode NT1 sound bad on anyone's voice, and this is a very flat response microphone. It has a little bump around 10K or something like that, but again, it's a very little bump. This is a very flat response microphone. Personally, I like flat response microphones. I don't like things that are overly hyped, and this microphone just sounds amazing. I would have a really hard time believing that this mic could sound bad on someone's voice. I mean, I'm sure there's someone out there, but this is just an amazing microphone. And the fact that you get, all of the different patterns, it's a multi-pattern microphone, and you get the 2 high-pass filters and the dB pads. It's just an awesome microphone. And I mean, yes, it is $250 more expensive than the Rode NT1, but with everything that I just said that this microphone gives you, like I said, the different patterns, the high-pass filters, and the pads, I mean, it makes sense for it to be more expensive than the Rode NT1. It gives you a whole lot more, just with the microphone. So, yeah. And now I just get to play the waiting game to see if any other microphones dethrone this one. I mean, it took a long time for this one to come along, to dethrone the Rode NT1. So let's see how long it takes for another microphone to dethrone this one. Probably going to take quite a long time. All right, who is this microphone for? Well, I definitely recommend this microphone for content creators. It has a pleasing quality to it. It is a touch on the brighter side, but I mean, just a touch. It's like a bump at 10K or something like that, and the rest of it is a flat response microphone. It's just a very pleasing sounding microphone. And of course, not to mention all of the things that we covered about this mic with all the little goodies that come with the microphone. But now, do I recommend this microphone for voice actors? Absolutely, yes, without a doubt. Voice actors, content creators, podcasters, you name it, this microphone will be just fine in pretty much every scenario. Musicians, across the board, this microphone I recommend. Anyway, when it comes to SE Electronics and the T2, well, you know what they say.